Hi y'all, it's Kimberly here. I have my camera set up in a crazy way. I can't find my right or my usual. I lose stuff. I have bags of camera setup gear, and I just tripods, I buy them all the time, and I buy them in multiples because I lose them, I break them, I destroy them, and so this one is set up in a very precarious way. I hope it does fall. I know it's a little bit crooked, but anyway. Thank you for coming to my channel. My name is Kimberly, for anybody new here. I haven't been posting very much lately this past year. My sister was, well, I had talked to her about coming on the channel and starting her own channel, and she was a little reticent about it at first, but then I kind of talked her into it, and then she was starting a new job, moving back home here, trying to get an apartment set up and everything, and she had a dilemma with her dog. She couldn't keep all of them at the same time. She had to have like so much in deposit money and stuff like this. So I kept her dogs for a while, and then she slowly took a couple of them, and I was still keeping one. And she was dealing with a lot, and she was a little bit, I think the loss of privacy, I guess, kind of bothered her about starting a YouTube channel. And I was trying to push it on her, like, I want to do this for my retirement. This is to supplement part of my retirement, and I'm still working. I still have a job, but I can retire in about a little over a year, or actually get Social Security in a little over a year, which is early retirement, which is 62. And I have been thinking about doing that, and I was just, I don't know. I mean, with the way the economy is and everything, it's very scary to just quit a job. This is the best paying job I've had. It's not super great well paying, but it's the best paying job I've ever had. And I wanted to try to get a bunch of things done before I actually retire and just go off on my measly Social Security payment and whatever I could possibly make off, YouTube or social media. So that's a very scary thing to think about. And at a certain point, for about the past 6 or 8 months, I guess, I talked myself into it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do. As soon as I turn 62, I'm going to quit that job. But I don't know. I mean, financially, it'll be like squeaking by on a fine line, and that's really scary to me. So I really don't know if I'm going to do that. I might be able to work part-time, but the thing about, if people don't know, especially if you're not from America, that our Social Security system, our retirement system, is set up where you can file for early retirement at 62. And full retirement right now is when you turn 67 years of age. And that's a long time to wait when you think about it, because a lot of people don't even live that long. So that's why a lot of people draw their Social Security at 62 or 63, around that time period. And especially with a lot of people who have health problems, a lot of people can't work past that point. I have a bad knee. My back is a little weak. Just general aches and pains. I don't feel young, I'm not 25, where I worked 2 and 3 jobs up until I was 50 years old, and I had a health incident that I ended up having to quit working that much, and I have just stuck to one job since then. And a lot of people, I am so grateful, so lucky for my health that I can still work like this. And a lot of people can't. And I feel bad for them. And they do need that retirement early. And to work to 67 if people, I work with people that have had double knee replacement. I know somebody, my partner that I work with is 70 years old. This woman is 70 years old and she's still working, and she's needing knee replacement. She needs cataract surgery on both eyes. She takes about 20 pills in the morning and like about another 20 something pills in the evening. She has a heart doctor, an arthritis doctor, an eye doctor, she goes to an asthma doctor. She goes to like about 5 or 6 different specialists besides her primary doctor. And she also has some other health problems. But she's 70 years old. But this has accumulated over the years. It's added up. And luckily, I don't take any medication right now. But if I went to an arthritis doctor, they would probably try to put me on arthritis medicine. I have man hands that are all... I get aches and pains in my hands right now. And they've gotten worse over probably the past 2 or 3 years. I've really noticed it. And when the weather is really cold, when it freezes up, I cannot hardly unlock my door to my house. It takes every bit of my strength. If it's like below, I don't know, 25, 29 degrees, something like that, it is so hard for me to use my fingers on my right hand. I'm right-handed, so my dexterity, it's getting worse as I'm aging. And that's one of the reasons why I've thought about retiring early, because I don't want to be so worn out that when I retire, all I do is just sit in a chair. I have plans for my retirement. I want to do things. I want to maybe do a little bit of traveling, what little I can do, because I do have dogs to take care of. And depending on, I don't want to travel alone, so my sister will probably come with me, and she has dogs too, so it'd be like a lot of planning. We have, our dogs are like our kids, and to make sure that they're safe and making sure that they're taken care of. Some of them we would probably bring with us, but like I have 2 Rottweilers and 2 pit bulls. I can't bring them with me. And then I have 2 little dogs, and I probably would bring the 2 little dogs, but my sister has 3 small dogs, so there'd be a lot of dogs in one car. I don't know if we want to do that, but there's other things I want to do. I want to get a motorcycle, which I've already taken the MSF course, passed, and I put that off for decades of my life. And I've told this story before in my other videos, but I'm not a tall person. I'm like 5'3", and I was even smaller when I was in high school. I had a stunted growth issue. I didn't grow to my full height till I was in my early 20s. So when I graduated high school, I think I was like 4'11", maybe, if I was even 5 feet tall. And we're like a size 4 shoe. Now we're like an 8. So I was very small, very little. And I remember telling my mom that I want to get a motorcycle, and she just like, no, you're not, you'll die, and all this, who are you kidding? You weigh like 95 pounds. You can't, these things are huge. And, I was like, no, I was aware of that. And so I just stuck to be in the backpack or the passenger. And over the years, I primarily was like on Harleys, big heavy motorcycles. So I was aware of how heavy they were, and I just resigned myself to, yeah, that's a fact. I'm little. I can't, those things are huge and they're heavy. So I just gave up on it, didn't think much about it. Because I wasn't around a lot. Well, I actually learned how to ride on a dirt bike, on my cousin's dirt bike, which was much smaller and lighter. But a dirt bike is way taller than a regular motorcycle. And I needed like a foot before my foot would even touch the ground, and I kept tipping it over, or when I would stop, and dirt bikes, usually a lot of them don't have kickstands, so That was kind of out of the question too, even though it was lighter. And there was some small motorcycles. I knew there were smaller ones, but I wasn't around those. Like my aunt and uncle, they drove big not Harleys, big, I don't know what they were. It was in the 70s. I know they weren't Harleys, but I want to say maybe they were Honda Goldwings, or maybe some kind of Kawasaki, the larger model. That I remember they had the hard case bags on them, and they would travel around in those groups with the kind of the, I don't know, retired or well-to-do people. They would travel around all these places. And I just remember I was just too small. But after, well, I didn't pay that much attention to the sport bikes. So when Tom Cruise was in Top Gun, which is a fantastic movie, one of my favorite movies of all time, he was riding that 1,000, actually I don't even know what it was. I know it was like 1,000 cc something. I don't remember what it was. But he was riding around on that, and it was much smaller. And then I started seeing women on sport bikes and everything like that. Just, it wasn't that visible or noticeable to me, or just, I guess because of social media and watching YouTube and TikTok. Over the past 10 years, I used to hate sport bikes. Really, I used to hate them. But after seeing a lot of women riding them, and that they're much smaller, and it also opened my eyes to the lower cc, like the 250 and 300 cc motorcycles. And the motorcycle I rode on the MSF course was a 500 cc. It was a Harley Davidson, and if I can ride that, I mean, I had no problem riding it. It was fantastic. So now I know I can. And even I'm older now, and maybe I have another good 10 or 15 years. And I don't want to waste that time. So that is one of my goals. And I'm going to put it on my social media. It won't be the whole focus, but it's going to be an aspect of part of my life and something that I want to do. And I'll have videos about that too. But I also want to do other videos. I have a whole cooking thing I've talked about and all these other things. And I wanted my sister to be a part of that. And I really tried to push her into it, but I think she's kind of backing away from it a little bit, so she may not be, I'm not going to talk to her about it anymore. It's going to be up to her, because I've constantly, the past month, I gave her a couple weeks to settle in, but then I was like, we need to make a video, we need to do something. And she was getting more and more like, I don't want to do it. So I was like, all right. So I just dropped it with her, and if she decides that she wants to do it, she can tell me and we'll do it. She was kind of excited about I explained to her what mukbang videos were, and she was like, really? You get paid for doing that? For eating? And I was like, yeah, I mean, you can do anything. You can make videos of anything, and there's an audience for it, you know? And I told her it's fun. And so I'm just going to leave it up to her. So that is just kind of on hold now or whatever. So I'm just going to go on with my thing, do whatever I do. And I haven't been doing anything lately. Nothing. But I'm still trying to figure my plan out. I've said before, I don't know, from some of the new people may not know this, I have an acre of land. It's raw right now. I don't have any utilities on it, and I was trying to put the electric on maybe by the end of or by the beginning of next year. And I have to see what's going to happen. But I also work with a nonprofit, and our biggest part of that was the USAID nonprofit sector. And the powers that be put a crimp in that. People are starving to death in other countries, and it's just a mess. And it's also knocked out a lot of the inoculation programs that they have in other countries. And I don't really want to get into that in a political way, but I'm just saying it really damaged a lot of relationships that we would have with other countries. And it's every day I go to work, I don't know if I have a job. It is just nerve-wracking every single day. I don't know. So a lot of what I do depends on that, and I have to be conservative with my money and whatever I'm doing. And I'm just trying to wait that out and see what happens. And I have a lot of anxiety about that, and I don't know how. I mean, I get a little scared to do something, use my savings to do something, implement something like a power pole, and then I get laid off the next day. So I don't know. So it's like I'm having to double up on my savings and what I'm doing, so that if I do something, at least I'll have a little bit of money stretched out till I find another job for the next year and a half, till at that point, if that does happen to me, then I will probably have to take early retirement, be like a forced situation. But to get back to the early retirement, there's something I was going to talk about was, yes, you can retire in America at 62, take early retirement, and full retirement is at 67. So there's 5 years in between that. And you can retire at any time. You can turn in your papers at any time between 62 and 67, but it will be considered as early retirement. And actually, if you retire at 62, you will get a 30% reduction in the money that you would receive had you retired at 67. So if you were going to get $1,000 at 67, take 30% of that off if you're going to retire at 62, or whatever it is, whatever month. It goes up a little percent per each month. You can retire at 63 years and 4 months, or 5 months, or 7 months, or 64 and 2 months. It doesn't matter. There's no set time that you have to file for your paperwork. But every bit of early retirement, it's incremental in taking off percentages of what you would get at 67. At 67, you would get your full benefits. And if you wait till 70, you get like another, I think it's around another 30%. So you get 100, like 130 or 31 or 32%. I don't know what it is. I can't remember what it is, but it's 130 something percent that you will get if you wait till age 70. There's a few people, I think, just a few that will do that are waiting, because, you know, you don't know how much time you have left. And if you get some catastrophic illness and you wait that long and then you don't make it to that age, you know, you could be sick at 69, not be here at 70, and you don't get any of that money, you know, that you worked so hard for all your life. And that's a little bit what I'm scared of. So I kind of want to take, at least, if I were to be successful at social media, made enough money to cover myself in even just the most minimal way, then I would try to hold out for my retirement check. I would try to do that. I mean, I just don't know. I'm just going to go with the flow. Whatever happens, I'm going to make a judgment call on my situation at the time that it happens. And also, if you are still working after age 62 and you file for early retirement, you get your check, your reduced check, you only can make a certain amount of money before they will deduct money back out of your retirement check. A lot of people don't know that. So if you're 62 years old and you take your retirement check, and I think right now, I think in 2025, I think it's like $24,000 and some odd number, $25. I don't know what, but I think it's over $24,000. You cannot make more than that much money. If you do, they will take $1 out of every $2 that you make over the difference. I know that's kind of hard to understand, but like that amount that you make over $24,000, that amount, They're going to take $1 out of every bit of that for every $2 that you make. So you make $2,000 more, you go over the limit by $2,000. So for every $2 of that $2,000, they're going to take out $1, which is $1,000 out of your okay, I had to stop and check because I was starting to freak my own brain out. But it is actually, the amount for 2025 is $23,400. So I was wrong. It's not $24,000. It's $23,400. And it is $1 for every $2 over that amount that you make that they will deduct at the end of the year. So you have to think about that too. If you're making, a lot of money, making a lot of money over that limit, it's really not worth to draw your retirement early. If you're making like $35,000 or $45,000 a year, they're going to deduct quite a bit from your amount, because they're going to be taking, half of that amount that you make above the limit. They're going to take half of it. So is it really worth to draw your retirement early if you're going to continue working, especially if you have a good job and you're just going to work? Just go ahead, and I would just, for me personally, don't take my advice, because I am nowhere near a financial advisor, believe me. But I wouldn't want to lose that much money. Unless you're comfortable with losing that much money, do whatever you think you need to do. I mean, yeah, you will get extra money because you will be getting, part of that check. But if you're making quite a bit more than that amount, I'd think about it. If you're not making that much, then maybe it makes sense to you to take that. Maybe it is sensible for you to take the early retirement and use some of that money to invest or pay off bills or do whatever you need to do with it. So that's up to you. Or maybe you might want to delay it for a few years, which is what I'm thinking about doing for myself, because I was really wanting to just grab that money at 62, but now I'm kind of thinking I might wait a little bit, maybe wait it out for another year or two. So I just don't know. In my living situation, getting my house built, it's going to take a lot of money and time, and I'm going to be doing it myself. I'm not hiring a builder. I'm going to be, subcontracting all the different jobs all together, which is something I've never done. But I'm building a barn dough, and the process I looked at, it seems much easier than building a regular wood frame house. And I'm not trying to build it into some dream house. I'm trying to be conservative in the way that I build it and the cost. And I do have some things I want to put in. I want a farmhouse sink. It has to have a farmhouse sink. And I was going to put some things in it for resale value. They're saying that to put a double bathroom in the master bathroom, because it's more attractive to, like, if a couple wants to buy it, because there may not be enough single people that are going to want to buy a house that big. I don't know. It just was something that I've learned throughout looking at, different house plans and different ways to build it and different things that I've looked at. I've come upon that to make it resellable. And I have thought about that. I would like to just stay there, but honestly, I want a bigger piece of land. It's only 1 acre, and I only settled on that acreage because the down payment was super cheap and so easy to get into it. I only had like a few minutes of paperwork, took my check, and that was it. I didn't have to go through bank financing, but the interest is really high, and I'm thinking of getting it refinanced, or if I can pay it off early, I will save on that financing cost. So there's a lot of different options that I have. Okay, I don't know what kind of videos I'll be making next. On this channel, for new people, I'm just the queen of randomness. I just am all over the place. I don't have a niche. Right now, it's basically a vlog about just whatever happens in my life and I want to talk about. And occasionally I do, well, I haven't done videos about other people or situations for a long time. And since my sister is kind of backing away from this idea, I'm just gonna wait it out. And if she does change her mind, then good. Then you'll probably see her on the channel. But if not, just let her live her life, and I'll live mine. I just thought it was a good idea for her, and I don't know. It's up to her. Okay. Well, thank you all, and I'll see y'all again.